Irma Grese, known as the hyena of Auschwitz, who whipped the prisoners with a plated whip.
Irma Grese, also known as the hyena of Auschwitz, beat the prisoners with a plated whip. The most infamous defendants included Josef Kramer, also known as the Beast of Belsen, who was notorious for brutally beating his prisoners and using dogs as a form of punishment. Fritz Klein was a German Nazi doctor who participated in Nazi medical research and administered fatal doses of phenyl or chloroform. Elisabeth Volkenrath used to use a truncheon to beat prisoners until they died. Out of 45 defendants, a British military court sentenced 11 Nazi guards to death by hanging. The trial lasted 2 months and received extensive international media coverage. The subject of our video for today is 48 hours before a female Nazi guard was executed. Let's explore this story. Nazi executed. Though they are less well known than their male counterparts, the female guards at Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, and Ravensbrück were just as brutal. Investigate Irma Grese, a female SS guard. Millions of prisoners were interned in the hundreds of concentration camps throughout the Nazi regime, where scenes like beatings, holding food, and making prisoners stand for hours were inflicted. SS guards, numbering in the thousands, such crimes are now associated with individuals whose names include Josef Kramer, Rudolf Hess, and Theodor Eicke. However, the female prisoners housed in camps like Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, and Ravensbrück, where Irma Grese, Maria Mandel, and Dorothea Binz, among many others, broke, were instilled with just as much, if not more, fear and panic than the SS men. Do you know the total number of fatalities? The incident described above, which took place at the Ravensbrück concentration camp and was committed by the Aufseherin, or female overseer layman, was actually quite common in the camp's female sections. About 10% of the 37,000 SS guards who actively participated in the daily agony, torture, and death of the internees were female overseers. Some of these overseers, including Irma Grese, received death sentences along with their male co-workers for murder and other atrocities against human rights. Others received sentences ranging from life in prison to 1 year. Few were found not guilty, despite the fact that their involvement in the Third Reich was vastly different from the propaganda directed at children, households, and churches that was a part of Nazi philosophy. They were also components of the Holocaust killing machine, which resulted in the deaths of about 6 million Jews. Are you guys familiar with the Irma Grese? If not, keep watching. According to the accusations made against Irma Grese at the Belson trial in 1945, she was one of the most sinister and despised figures of the camps and was referred to as the beautiful Beast of Belsen. She allegedly used to beat women until they passed out, according to witnesses. Irmgard Ilse Ida Grese was born on October 7, 1923, to dairy workers Berta Grese and Alfred Grese. After learning of Alfred's affair with a local pub owner's daughter in 1936, her mother killed herself by consuming hydrochloric acid. Alfred Grese may have joined the Nazi Party in 1937 and remarried in 1939. She spent 6 months working on a farm, 2 years in a store, and then 2 years at an SS-run hospital. Irmgard Ilse Ida Grese, who was a Nazi concentration camp guard at Ravensbrück and Auschwitz and the warden of Bergen-Belsen's women's section, lived from the 7th of October 1923 to December 13, 1945. She was an SS volunteer. Moreover, she wasn't the only one. During her captivity in Ravensbrück, René Lacroix, a French prisoner, described how several female guards killed the weaker ones and threw many of the girls onto the ground and trampled on them. The female guards were trained to become ruthless and to punish prisoners harshly when necessary, just like their male counterparts, before they even arrived at the camps. With their jackboots, sticks, truncheons, and, in the case of Irma Grese, a whip made of cellophane, many grew accustomed to striking and kicking prisoners, sometimes to the point of death. Some were in charge of carrying out lethal sterilization experiments, and many were present when the prisoners who would be sent to the gas chambers were chosen. Others had a gun with them. Grese was one of the 45 defendants in the Belson trial, which was held in Lüneburg, Lower Saxony, and charged with war crimes. She was tried during the first phase of the trials, and Major L. Cranfield was her attorney. On the basis of accusations derived from the Geneva Convention of 1929 regarding the treatment of prisoners, the trials were held in accordance with British military law. The main charges against her related to the mistreatment and murder of camp inmates. Grese received a hanging death sentence following a 9-week trial. Grese was one of only 3 female guards to receive a death sentence, despite the fact that some of the charges against some of the other female guards were just as serious as those against Grese. That is all from us today. See you guys in the next one.